I'm gonna talk about this. So I kind of want to say this. I don't know why it's just in my head. Just like, kind of like things aligning in place and stuff too. Like, and you gotta understand, like, God's people, like, we may not be able to see the full picture, but like, what God's doing, what God's really doing right now, everything's aligning in place to what's prophetic for Him. Like, and yeah, I'm just gonna say that, like, on some divine stuff too. But at the same time, like, I'm not just gonna say, oh yeah, we don't have free will and we can just do whatever the fuck. No, as long as we align in our purpose, we are gonna be in line with God's doings, God's will, God's you know miracles, God's all sorts of different stuff. Like, we're gonna like really be aligned with all that stuff. Like, we're gonna like be aligned with God type stuff, and that's what I kind of want to talk about. Is like, yeah, we're gonna be aligned by God, aligns with God, and just basically where we need to be. Like, as long as we do our purpose and fulfill what we need to fulfill, and obviously the devil's after God's people's purpose. So like, God's chosen people, like, the devil's after that and after our calling. So it's like the devil's really trying to scheme stuff up to what the fuck is that? It's like a cat and some trash or whatever the fuck that is. But yeah, like, it's like under a bag. What in the hell is that? What is that? That better be a cat. I'm not trying to, like, under a bag and shit. But like, yeah, like, um but no, like, yeah, aligning into your basically your calling and purpose is going to align with what God's will is, basically, and what God's trying to manifest on His earth. But like I said, it doesn't change the fact that the devil is not defeated. The devil is clearly not defeated, so we got to keep fighting. That's why I said, we have a free will, so we got to keep fighting, and eventually God will give us the victory. It just depends on, like, what God's people, what we have to go through, certain things and certain certain attacks, certain you know you know things we may face in life, like all that shit. Like, we may face a lot of crazy shit in life, like, for real, like, but that's what I'm saying. Like, some stuff is just aligning to God's will. Then other stuff the devil is gonna, like, have access to in our lives, to where, like, the devil is out to destroy our purpose, destroy our calling, like I said. So it's like the devil's definitely out to do. Oh my god, that cat. The devil, the devil's out to try to do what he can to take away from God's people, and but yeah. So it's like, some of God's people calling may be to be rich and successful, and the devil's gonna be after that, to where, like, they not rich, they don't have money, and God would really want to use his people to have some type of blessings and stuff too, like that too, for his calling and purpose. So it's like, the devil can, have access to certain people's, you know, life like that, to where, like, the devil can be winning against, God's people too, when it comes to certain things. So it's like, because the devil, like I said, the devil's not defeated. That's why it's in our. That's why with our free will, we gotta really, go at go go at this devil and protect ourselves against this devil, because, like, he doesn't want to see. You gotta understand, the devil's out to steal from us, steal from God's people, and that's basically what you see kind of going on right now. Like, in God's kingdom, all the money ain't really where it needs to be. You know, and we have a bunch of, like, we don't really have, like, true, like, you understand, like, yeah, we have, like, Tiara, we have etc, stuff like that, but I'm talking about, like, the riches. Like, the riches are being kept from God's people, like the billions and trillions of dollars and all that stuff. Like, right now we have a bunch of Satanists, that we already know what these Satanists do. These the majority of these billionaires be doing whatever. Like, we already know what satanic stuff they do. But those are the people with the finances and with the control and everything to it. That so like I said, basically the devil's trying to take. Oh my God, I can't. The devil's trying to take away all that, all, all what belongs to God's people basically, and that's kind of what the devil's doing, and he actually uses people to do. You gotta understand, the devil has to use, you know, we call it vessels, whatever you call it. I don't know. The devil just uses people, living vessels or whatever you want to call it, just people, too, like to, yeah, I think because like people are being used by the devil, whether people want to agree with it or not. Like the devil is not finished. The devil is not finished. Like the devil is not like his time is not up until, you know, everything is sealed. So it's like, and certain prophetic things happen. The devil, you know, like I said, like there has to be the 1,000-year reign, and then after that, the devil gets released. So we already know that. But yeah. So it's certain. I can't speak. It's just like yeah. It's just like certain things is just like God is using for His divine purpose for His people, but at the same time, like part of it is God is allowing the devil access to certain things to keep us away from prospering to where we are like fully aligned, where we need to be. Because you gotta understand, like it it may be like, okay, yeah, we're not like you know going to hell too if we're really doing what we got to do. That's all we can really do. But God is gonna give the devil access to all these things, so to where like, yeah, seeing the devil has control of money. The devil has control of the wicked, satanic United States and government and systems of this world type stuff. So, the devil has access to basically the earth's realm, to where the devil rules over the world. So it's like, you know, God's people, like we kind of, we definitely, fight against all that stuff, fight against the world and all that stuff too. So, and everything, you know, that basically the world creates too with the system. So it's like, yeah, we kind of, I mean, it's sad. It's really sad, but that's just the truth. The devil has access to so many different things. Like this world is basically, know, and then God like created us into this stuff. So like we have no choice but to basically fight off him and like try to get to where we need to be. Because like you gotta understand, like we have callings that we need to fulfill. Like God's people have certain callings, and the devil does not want God's people fulfilling different prophetic stuff, that's supposed to be fulfilled to it, that for his people. And the devil wants to steal all that. The devil wants to steal that, you know. So and right now, like, you know, it's actually in God's people's purpose, like to have all the money, to have all the money, to have all the riches, to be billionaires, trillionaires. And obviously prophecy is different too. Like there's different ways of prophecy though, but like um you gotta understand, like, you know even though like yeah, obviously God obviously does ultimately what he wants, but at the same time it doesn't change the fact that we have a free will. And so like that's kind of what I want to say about that. And then yeah, it doesn't change the fact we have a free will. And yeah, the devil's out to get us people to where we aren't where we need to be, where we need to be. And that's where it comes in with the system. That's what the devil created, was the system to where, we're not where we need to be. Like God's people is not where they need to be. And I'm talking about God's true chosen people. Like, we may be in our purposes, and that's fine, but at the same time, like eventually it'll get there. So, there is a lot of prophetic stuff that is gonna redeem us. So like, just the same. But you know, it just depends on what God does with certain things, and how he like aligns certain things, because it's all basically everything being aligned by God, whether it's bad, good or whatever. It's being aligned by God. So like he's a creator, but like I said, it doesn't change the fact there's a free will we have, and we have to make the most out of the free will, and really, you know, yeah. But that's what I kind of want to say about that, and yeah. So you know, like it is our job to reach out and really do what we can, You gotta understand, it's basically what we gotta do, to you know gain the victory. And obviously, like I said, like we have a free will, so it's up to us if we want the victory. It's up to us if we want to be victorious. It's up to us if we want to be blessed or broke, or you know looking silly and stupid and ran over by the devil or some shit, or by Satan's people. And so like I said, like there's a lot of satanic stuff in this world that's keeping the blessings, certain blessings, and certain um things, trying to take as much away from God's people as possible. Like you have the system trying to do that. um just yeah, um that's what I really want to say about that. And yeah, like I said, we have a bunch of evil Satanists running everything. Two evil Satanists who, you know, basically like they're actually like raping babies and children and murdering them and blood sacrificing them with rituals and stuff. We already know that, but like basically that's what's been going on. And yeah, so you know crazy stuff like that. And what else I want to say? Yeah, it's just like about like everything aligning, and it's just God's people. We need to align to God. We need to align to the truth. We need to align to all these things in order to prosper. In order to, yeah, I think, because like us prospering is supposed to be for God, though. Right now we don't really see anybody prospering for God. It's just a bunch of people selling out to the devil. That's prospering, and it's the system. The way the system is set up to have a bunch of Satanists in charge, and no true people of God can actually speak any like, can actually like be put in a position to where like yeah, that's because it goes against the systems. It goes against this whole system. God goes against the system, and I'm not gonna lie, like a lot of it be money based too, but it actually gets rooted in God and the devil more than anything. It's deeper than just money. Like the system is set up because it's a money system, and it's bigger than that. It actually has to do with like Satanism type stuff, like really deep rooted, spiritual shit. But um, and it all starts from like basically the fallen angels getting kicked out of heaven and stuff too. So like that's basically what it kind of comes down to. But yeah, it is a lot of it is like a lot of greed, a lot of et cetera, et cetera. Um, a lot of greed. A lot of but it does get deeper into shit than that, like than just that. It's deep. It's way deeper than that. That's kind of what I want to say. So much love, peace.